Soft drinks and fizzy pops were always a massive part of our childhoods, growing up with brands that we either loved or hated, often accompanied by some seriously memorable advertising campaigns too. And although there has been debate over the years as to the health benefits, or otherwise, of these delicious drinks, it is regardless a topic that hardly ever fails to trigger nostalgic memories. In that spirit, we're going to be taking a look back at 10 of the most fondly remembered soft drinks from decades past, most of which have sadly been taken from us. And for a bit of extra fun, we'll be doing it in a quiz format, so you'll get a chance to guess what each one is before the branding gradually appears on the screen. There'll also be a couple of honourable mentions afterwards, and we'll be sharing some of your memories in the featured comments section. And if that isn't enough for you, I'll be bunging in some old UK TV fizzy pop adverts at the end to finish up with. Number 1. Every bubble in this 1970s fizzy pop has passed its physical. Corona was massive in the 1970s with its memorable, ongoing advertising campaign featuring orange bubble characters trying to get fit in the gym and claiming that every bubble had passed its physical. It came in glass and plastic bottles, both individually and family-sized, and in at least 2 sizes of can, and was available in a range of flavours including cream soda, orange, lemon, lime, cherry, and dandelion and burdock. It originally started as a brand in the 1920s and was finally removed from our shop shelves in the late 1980s. Number 2. Traditionally marketed as a health drink, but is it really? Lucozade, the fizzy pop your mum always bought for you when you were off ill from school, and also inexplicably wrapped in that crinkly orange see-through wrapper. That alone conjures up nostalgic memories for some reason, and yes, for quite a while it was advertised as a health drink, but all it's really ever been good for is giving you an energy boost with its high sugar content. The clue's in the name, Lucozade, which is why it's been marketed as an energy drink since the 1980s, as evidenced on the label of its current bottle design. Number 3. Advertised as being Caribbean in origin, but really it was only sold in British territories. Lilt, the delicious, refreshing fizzy drink that was advertised as being totally tropical, thanks to it being a fruity combination of the very Caribbean-sounding pineapple and grapefruit. It originally sprang up in the 1970s and was a staple throughout most of our childhoods, teens and adulthoods, until 2023 when it was absorbed into the Fanta brand as Fanta, Pineapple and Grapefruit. I'm not sure how the Fanta version compares, but the can certainly isn't a patch on the original. Cue the supermarket chain Aldi, who quickly responded with their knockoff Tropical Blast, and hats off to them for that can design, although as it's one of those sugar-free pops, don't expect miracles when it comes to the taste. Worth a try though at only £1.99 for a 6-pack. Number 4. A green fizzy drink from the mid-80s made up of 4 fruit flavours, and bonus points if you can name all 4. Quatro, mostly remembered for its 1986 advertising campaign, where a cool-looking geezer walks up to a futuristic vending machine and inserts his Quatro card, but he has to give it a good thump with his fist before a can of Quatro is fired out of the top and he grabs it from the air. This super cool advert had us gagging for cans of Quatro for the couple of years that it was on sale, especially after a free Quatro vending card was given away stuck to the front of a magazine. And if you can remember which magazine that was, please let me know. And did you remember what those 4 fruits were? It was pineapple, orange, passion fruit and grapefruit. Number 5, and believe it or not, for us kids this was a sneaky way you could drink alcohol legally and legitimately. Top Deck, one of a few brands of shandy which was a mixture of lemonade and beer, or lager depending on your definition. It did contain alcohol, but we were allowed to drink it as children basically because the alcohol content was so low it would barely register on any kind of test results. The can went through a few redesigns over the years, and this one was the one I remember most fondly. And while we're on the subject of shandy, I have to give a shout out to Shandy Bass as well, which was another brand that's equally as memorable from a nostalgic point of view. Number 6. This frothy fruit drink originated in the 1970s and was available in a variety of fruity flavours. Cresta, another one with a memorable advertising campaign, this time featuring a cool polar bear who loses his cool over the flavour of Cresta. The adverts were adamant that this drink was frothy, not fizzy, and indeed the catchphrase, which sits lodged in the memories of anyone who's now over 45, was, "It's frothy, man." Cresta was available in strawberry, orange, pineapple, blackcurrant, lemon and lime and cream soda varieties. And if you want to see an original bottle in the flesh, YouTuber Ashens has a fascinating video on his channel in which he tries tasting a 45-year-old bottle of pineapple Cresta for science. I'll let you see how that went for yourself. There's a link to his video in the description. Number 7. A fruity brew that will probably have you fleeing the sheriff in a race across the county line. Yes, Moonshine was a short-lived fruit juice mix that was marketed at kids as if it were an illegal batch of bootlegged whiskey, out around about the same time as Bongo in the mid-80s and made by the same company. There's very little information out there, but according to the carton, it's made with 10 fine juices. All I can remember about this is thinking that the advert was incredible, and it must have been on TV a lot because at the age of 9, I was able to learn all the words to the theme song off by heart, and we didn't even have a VHS recorder. Number 8. This animal-themed drink launched in the 1970s and survived right through to the 2010s. Panda Pops was often the bottle of fizzy pop that you'd pick up when your pocket money wouldn't stretch to a full-size can. A cheaper alternative to the mainstream fizzy drinks and in a smaller bottle, this sweet, sticky treat came in many flavours, including the staples, cola and lemonade, etc., and went through a number of packaging redesigns over the years as well. Although it was discontinued in 2011 amid concerns of children consuming too much sugar, it did reappear in 2014, branded as Panda Drinks, albeit in a still fruit-oriented, no added sugar format. Number 9. The adverts claimed that you could tell what this is when your eyes are shut, so I guess we're kind of testing that theory. Tizer, and it's been a staple of British shops on and off for the last 100 years, believe it or not. It's a unique tasting drink that's hard to describe, kind of like Iron Brew but slightly fruitier maybe. Initially marketed as Tizer the Appetizer, it's had a lot of slogans attached to it, including the one I just mentioned about recognising Tizer when your eyes are shut. It's apparently still available in shops today, just not in the mainstream quantities we used to get. So if you want a can of refreshing Tizer right now, you'll have to scour the smaller independent shops to get hold of one. Number 10. A mixed fruit jungle-themed drink with a somewhat culturally insensitive slogan attached to it. Bongo, of course, and this has to be one of the most memorable on this list, with a super catchy advertising campaign which claims that they drink it in the Congo. The TV advert had a whole chorus line of performing animals, from dancing hippos to painting parrots, and another one of those songs that it was hard not to try and learn all the words to. Bongo was of course a mid-1980s classic, however it has experienced a revival of late, with modern packs of Bongo appearing in Iceland shops, with a design that very closely resembles the original 1980s artwork. The first of 2 honourable mentions, and this one's an orange crush that we were instructed only to drink in hot weather. Sunkist. Launched in the very late 70s and seeing huge popularity in the 1980s, Sunkist is a sparkling fizzy orange drink that's always been closely associated in its adverts with summery sunshine and good feelings. Drinking in the sun was the slogan that I remember most vividly from the late 80s, but they've also used phrases like good vibrations, taste the sun, and other slight variations on a similar theme. You can still buy Sunkist in the UK, although like Tizer, it's less prolific. However, it is still big in America, with Sunkist varieties in flavours that include strawberry orange, grape, berry and cherry. Honourable mention number 2, and you'll need to be careful not to drink too much of this or you might turn yellow. Sunny Delight. This one's memorable for a couple of reasons. Sure, it was everywhere back in the late 90s and heavily advertised as a health drink for kids. However, it was predominantly water and sugar, with the rest being made up of assorted chemicals and less than 2% concentrated fruit juices. Following some controversy around this in the early 2000s and reports of a child whose skin turned yellow after drinking large quantities of the stuff, it was swiftly rebranded to Sunny D, and the fruit content was increased, but it was never able to achieve the same level of success again. Still, it did taste nice, and that distinctive angular bottle we used to pull out of the fridge will always be a memory that will stay with us even after we're old and yellow. I asked on my social medias if any of you had memories to share of your soft drinks from the past, and here's what a few of you had to say. Over on Blue Sky Social, Cleo covers the mystery of the orange cellophane wrappers that used to adorn the Lucozade bottles, jokingly suggesting that it gave Lucozade extra healing powers. Other suggestions include making the bottle look bigger, or perhaps just giving it a bit of prestige. Cleo also mentions some memorable lunchbox drinks, 2 of which were included in the quiz, plus Kia-Ora, which had that unforgettable "It's Too Orangey for Crows" ad campaign. And she also brings up the band Orange Tango advert with the big orange fella who ran in from the left, who gave someone a good old slapping. I did a whole other video on the Tango advert, so you can find that linked in the description if you're interested. Steve's Gaming reckons Cresta cream soda was the greatest thing he's ever drunk, and also mentions mango and mandarin lilt, which I've never heard of personally, but it does sound delicious. Over on Instagram, Sarah Curson remembers Ribena in a can, which was just different from the bottled cordial. And looking at a picture of it now, the difference appears to be the fizz. I can imagine that being super refreshing, as ordinary Ribena does work quite well when diluted with something like lemonade. Lizzie Curson mentions the strawberry jelly and ice cream variety of Panda Pops, which she remembers buying for 25p on the way home from school. From the RetroSteveUK Facebook page, Jamie Bowden-Johnson brings up Quatro and Squirt, which both disappeared as quickly as they arrived. Quatro we've obviously covered already, but Squirt is one I'd never heard of, and is apparently a caffeine-free citrus burst drink. Judging from the can, it looks like it's probably a mix of orange, lemon and lime, which does sound good. If you can clarify this, I'd appreciate your input in the comments, and if you're going to do an internet search for this, do be careful. I had some pretty dodgy results come up in the search while I was looking into it. Paul Pablo Hind brings up Strawberry Cresta, then mentions the Thursday night pop deliveries he used to get from the Alpine Man, and this brought back similar memories I had of our local fizzy pop delivery firm, Dayla, who used to take orders every Thursday and then deliver the drinks the following week in reused glass bottles. Cream soda, Cherryade, Dandelion and Burdock, all the classics. From my YouTube community post, Lozo Omega continues the pop van discussions, and his local firm in Liverpool were apparently called Schofields, and he shares his memories of shouting, "Here's the Scowies fella, get us a bottle of green," in reference to the tastiest, most luminous green cream soda ever. Dave Richards also adds to the conversation with his pop van memories, with the trucks that would sell you their fizzy pops door to door, much like the milkman. His local firm in South Wales was also Alpine, and he has great memories of the truck coming round every week with the guys sitting on the back delivering your orders in glass bottles. It seems this is quite a common shared memory, as Sam M remembers his Alpine Man from the 1970s, and also those glass pop bottles you'd buy in the shops that you'd collect a 10p refund on if you returned them. Sam also brought up the plastic cup-style drinks with the sealed film lids, and you'd punch a hole in the film using the supplied straw. I think there were a few variations of those over the years. More mentions of the pop van deliveries from El Ritmo, who also informs us that the fizzy drinks where he comes from are referred to as gingers, and that the pop deliveries around his way were from a company called Bon Accord. Those 10p refund bottles come up again, and as many people used to just throw the bottles away, as a youngster he'd go around hunting for discarded bottles in bushes and such, and rake in the refunds from the local shop, and of course spend that money on more pop. El Ritmo goes on to mention Orangina, which is still available if you look hard enough. It's everywhere in France though, which makes sense as it's a French drink. I have memories of coming across it for the first time during a school trip to France back in 1987, shortly before it was officially imported to the UK. I remember that orange fruit-shaped bottle and the advertising slogan, "Shake the bottle, wake the drink." Virgin Cola is also mentioned, which was Richard Branson's attempt to compete with the Coca-Cola company. That was another short-lived one, although I could never understand why, as I thought it tasted pretty good. And Tab Clear comes up too. That was a clear cola drink in a similar vein to Crystal Pepsi, imported from America in 1993, but it never really took off. Stacey Draper wondered if anyone would remember the Red Card Extended Energy Drink. It was an orange-flavoured football-themed sports drink, which she hasn't seen since she was 11 years old in 1999. Apparently its advertising slogan was, "Keeps you going until you're sent off." Lulu at Gripplehound wants to know if any of us remember Fresca, one of the first ever sugar-free drinks. Judging from the TV advert on one of my time travel TV compilations, it's a grapefruit-flavoured drink from the 1970s. Looks quite an old one, although apparently it is still available in the United States. And finally, the scamp absolutely loved the Hubba Bubba bubblegum flavoured soda pop that used to come in a pink can, and also remembers those massive 500ml Coca-Cola super cans, which they always used to have on the way home from school in the late 1980s. I don't know about you, but I think these look a bit more than I'd like to tackle personally, and I also have to ask, Scamp, how are your teeth doing these days, mate? If this video has triggered any memories for you, or if there are any long-lost drinks brands that you'd like to chat about, join us in the comments section for a natter. And if you'd like to be featured in a future Retrospectives video, follow me on my various social media platforms, where I'll be asking for your comments whenever I'm working on something new. You'll find all the links in the video description. We'll finish up now with some vintage soft drinks advert nostalgia. But first, I'd like to thank everyone who shared their comments, to thank you for liking and subscribing, and of course to thank you all for watching Retrospectives.
To look at me now, you'd never guess I used to have no sparkle. Was I flat? As a bubble, I was a physical wreck. But that was before Corona took me under their cap. Boy, was that physical tough. But it made me the bubble I am today. Top banana here, Corona. So now it's my job to help new bubbles make it into Corona with a little gentle encouragement. Hey, hop, 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 hop.
Corona. Every bubble's past its physical.
That's my boys.
When they've been ill and off their food, give them the glucose energy of Lucozade. Lucozade aids recovery.
Hi, man. This is Cresta's new flavor, black currant. I wonder what's... Black currant flavor, huh? That's okay.
Cresta. Now in 5 fruity flavors.
It's frothy, man.
I'm really mean and extremely groovy. Some people say I'm a bit of a smoothie. No! I can do the shake and the funky strut, and I can tell it's Tizer when my eyes are shut. Yeah. If I want flowers, I'll ask for flowers. Ah, this is Tizer. You can tell by the bubbles.
How's that for taste? Top Deck. Lemonade, shandy, or limeade and lager.
Well, the sun went down on the Allegheny Hills. The air was split with the sound of wheels. It was Stanley Stoke and his brother Irvine with a brand new fruit drink named Moonshine. Well, them no good critters hit the road, and up jumped one Tango toad. He took a swig and then he smiled. Oh, the fruits in this here stuff is wild. Moonshine, moonshine, looks pretty real and tastes just fine. Shipping this low from the county line. Only in the boys will be doing time.
Dora, Kia-Ora.
Kia-Ora?
It's too orangey for crows. It's just for me and my dog.
I'll be your dog. I'll be your dog. Kia-Ora. Kia-Ora. Boogie, doogie, doogie. Kia-Ora. Doogie, doogie, boogie, boogie. Kia-Ora. Harumba. Kia-Ora. We all adore Kia-Ora.
Way down deep. deep in the middle of the Congo. A hippo took an every caught the guava and the mango. He stuck it with the others and he danced a dingy tango. The rhino said, I know, we'll call it Umbango. Umbango, the drink it in the Congo. Python picked the passion from the mama, said the mandarin. The pirate painted bandits got the hunk of voodoo land it is. So when it comes to sun and fun and goodness in the jungle, they all prefer the sunny, funny one they call Umbango.
Libby's Umbango. High juice drinks. Free from artificial ingredients.
Sun comes up, the day begins, and it won't be long till we're drinking it in. Drinking in the sun, Sunkist is the one. Drinking in the sun, Sunkist is the one. Drinking in the sun.
Are you thirsty, Paul?
There's a trick.
Course not.
Go on then. What are you two up to then?
Nothing.
Lining your brother up again, eh? Nice one. Where's Sunny D?
There's none left.
Women.
Sunny Delight. The taste of orange, tangerine and lime with sunny vitamins too.
Bring us some up, Paul.
Yeah, Wally.
Sunny Delight. The great stuff kids go for, whatever the weather.